First and foremost is the fact that we were all in the room together. There are pockets of the same conversation occurring throughout the United States, actually North America. There are pockets of conversation on the East Coast. There's one in Chicago centered around Barry Chazan, and there's one in LA at AJU on this topic. The fact that we spent a day together in the same room talking about the same subject matter is unique in and of itself and quite powerful. The other thing that was unique about this day is that the planners, and I think smartly, forced us to remain focused on the concrete. Very often this kind of a conversation remains abstract, theoretical, as we try and define what experiential education actually means and how it differs from general education or just straight education. We were asked to focus on the concrete, on how to measure success in experiential Jewish education. And we were reminded to do that throughout the day. So we were forced to concretize our theories and definitions about experiential education. I'll give you an example. When we were asked to build a model of what experiential education looks like, the small group I participated in, we sat in silence for a while. We were never confronted with this challenge, but and we spoke about that explicitly. And then the creative juices started flowing, and all kinds of ideas came out, and we eventually were able to translate those ideas into concrete visual manifestations, a visual model. So I think those two things are what makes this most unique. The fact that we were all in the room together, and the fact that we were asked to keep our feet on the ground, so to speak. Absolutely. I think that practitioners in the field are waiting for academics and theoreticians to catch up to them. And they're waiting to receive the kinds of models and methodologies to help them evaluate what they're doing. They're sort of on the front lines, and they need their backup. They need their help. What was powerful first, before a particular idea, was the fact that everybody seems to be wrestling with the same issues. That in and of itself is an affirmation to those of us who are thinking about this, and sort of reassures us that we're on the right track, that this is an important conversation to be had. In one of our small groups, we were asked to build a model representing experiential Jewish education. And the conversation was theoretical at first and abstract, and we were bouncing ideas off of one another. And then the conversation turned when we started thinking concretely about particular experiences. So we took, for example, Israeli dancing at a Jewish camp. And we started unpacking what a session of Israeli dancing looks like, what elements together comprise a session of Israeli dancing. And as we started thinking about the skills that are being conveyed, the knowledge that is being conveyed, the tools that educators need to utilize when framing such an experience, we were then able to step back and say, okay, well then what does that tell us about experiential education writ large? What can we learn about the theory and the definition of the field from concrete manifestations, from the particular to the general?